Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitang Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakhan Vitangscha. We're reading from Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami's Sri Chaitanya Charitamrta, Madhya Lila, Chapter 3. Nyasam vidhayot pranayatho gaurau Brindavanam gantumana pramadyah Rarye Brahman Shantipuri Mayitva Lalasa Bhaktairiha Tang Natosmi. I bow to that Gaura who, after taking sannyasa in prema for Krishna, wanted to go to Vrindavana, but who, while wandering in the Rar country, reached Shantipur, where he gained joy among his bhaktas. Glory, glory to Sri Chaitanya, glory to Nityananda, glory to Advaita Chandra, glory to the hosts of Gaura Bhaktas. At the end of his 24th year, in the bright fortnight of the month of Magha, Prabhu took sannyas. Being a sannyasin and sunk in prema, he headed for Vrindavana. He wandered in the Rara country for 3 days. Prabhu, under the control of Bhava, recited sloka, and while wandering, he cleansed the whole of the Rara country. And the shloka is, Etang sa asthaya paratmanishta madhyasitang purvatamair mahadbihi Aham tarishyami durantaparam namo mukundangri nishevayeva. I shall cross over this darkness, so hard to cross, by the service of the lotus feet of Krishna, by means of taking firm refuge in the Paratma, cherished by the ancient great ones. End of quote. That's the Bhikshu Brahmin in the 11th canto. Prabhu said, the words of this mendicant are pure, specifying the vrata of the service of Mukunda. The only way is the firm fixedness on the Paratma, and by the service of Mukunda one crosses over the world. Now, going to Vrindavana, I enter that condition, and sitting in silence, I perform the service of Krishna. So saying, Prabhu went on with the signs of the madness of prema. He did not know which direction he was going in. He did not know whether it was day or night. Nityananda, Acharya Ratna, and Mukunda, these three went close behind Prabhu. And all the people who saw Prabhu shouted, Hari! Absorbed in prema, and their sadness and grief were broken. All the cowherd boys, when they saw Prabhu, shouted, Hari! Hari! in a loud voice. And when he heard, Gaura Hari went near them and said, Speak, speak the name of Hari, and put his hand on the heads of all. And he praised them all. You are most blessed. You have given me fulfillment, for you have caused me to hear the name of Hari. Thakur Nityananda summoned them all secretly and coached them carefully. Prabhu will ask you the way to Vrindavana. Then show him the way to the Ganga's bank. Then Prabhu asked, Here, boys, tell me by which road I can go to Vrindavana. And all the boys pointed out to him the way to the Ganga's bank, and Prabhu started out on that road, absorbed. Nityananda Goswami said to Acharya Ratna, Quickly, Go to Advaita Acharya. I shall bring Prabhu to his house. Have him take care to moor a boat by the bank. Then go to Navadvipa. Bring Satsi and all the bhaktas and come. Having sent Acharya Ratna ahead, the noble Nityananda came before Mahaprabhu and made himself known. Prabhu said, Sripad, where are you going? And Sripada replied, I'm going to Vrindavan with you. Prabhu asked, well, how far is it to Vrindavan? And he answered, here is the Jamuna. So saying, he brought him close to the Ganga, and in his absorption, Prabhu thought the Ganga was the Jamuna. How fortunate I am that I have seen the Jamuna. And so saying, he began to praise the Jamuna. Want to hear that one? Chidananda Bhano Sadananda Suno Paraprema Patri Dravak Brahma Gatri Aghanam Lavitri Jagat Kshema Dhatri Pavitri Kriyano Vapur Murti Putra Putri. Right. O Jamuna, daughter of the sun, doer of all beneficent things in the world, destroyer of sins, whose limbs are the liquid Brahma, eternal vessel of the prema of Nanda's son, himself the son of Chid and Ananda, purify our bodies. End of quote. So saying, and having made obeisance, he took a bath in the Ganga. He had one loincloth and no other to wear. At that time, Acharya Goswami came in a boat, bringing a new loincloth and outer cloth. And when the Acharya arrived, he bowed before him. And seeing the Acharya, Prabhu said, a doubt rising in his mind, are you then Advaita Goswami? Why have you come here? I am in Vrindavan. How did you know that? The Acharya said, this is cool, isn't it? Where are you? Sorry, where you are, there is Vrindavan. By my great good fortune, you have come to the Ganga's banks. Prabhu said, Nityananda has deceived me. He brought me to the Ganga, calling it the Jamuna. The Acharya said, there is no falsity in the words of Sripada. Just now you have bathed in the Jamuna. The Ganga and the Jamuna flow together in a single stream. On the west, the Jamuna flows, and on the east, the Ganga. The Jamuna flows in the western stream, and there you have bathed. Take off that wet loincloth and put this dry one on. Absorbed in prema, for 3 days you have fasted. Today there is food at my house. Let us go there. I have a handful of rice there, which I've cooked, and I prepared some shukaruka curry and lentils and some vegetables. So saying, he had him board the boat and took him home. With joyful heart he washed his feet. The Acharya's wife had cooked previously. The Acharya himself made the offering to Vishnu. He put the food divided equally in 3 places. He put the food for Krishna on a metal vessel. On unbroken leaves of 32 cluster banana trees, he spread the other 2 servings of food with great respect. In the center was a pile of sala rice, moistened with yellow ghee, and around it there were bowls of curry and a sauce of mugda, and cooked bastuku, vegetables of various kinds, and patola, and kushmanda bari, and manachakachu, and all roots and fruits, prepared with chai, marichi, shukta, and 5 kinds of bitter and hot foods, better than nectar, and fried eggplant with tender nimba leaves, and fried patola, and fulabari, and pumpkin, and manakachi, and coconuts, and curds, and sweets, and sugar, and a ganta of the flowers of plantain trees, and pumpkin prepared with milk, and everything was plentiful. There were sweet and sour curries, and 5 or 6 kinds of sour ones, as many kinds of curries as there are on earth, and fried cakes of mudga, and cakes of banana, and cakes of masha, and sweets, and ksirapuli, and coconuts, and many as anyone wanted. There were huge containers full of 32 cluster bananas. The pots could not be upset, they were so large. There were 50 times 50 containers filled with curries, and they were placed all around the 3 plates of food. On the 2 sides, all the earthen pots were placed, filled with chapakala and curd and sandesh sweets. I cannot describe it all. There were 9 earthen pots filled with payasa made with ghee, and on 3 leaves thick milk was placed. And there were various kinds of chira with milk, and lakalaki made with milk, more kinds of food than I have the power to describe. And, on the rice and curries were put sprouts of tulsi, and there were 3 water vessels filled with sweet-scented water, and there were 3 glistening seats on which were cloths, and in this way he feasted the manifest Krishna. That at the time of Arati, he had the 2 Prabhus called, and all came with the Prabhus to witness the Arati. Having made the Arati, they lay Krishna down, and then the Acharya came and requested Prabhu, Prabhu, go inside the house. The 2 brothers went then to eat their meal. Prabhu had both Mukunda and Haridas called, and they began to speak with palms pressed together. Mukunda said, I have some duties still to do. I shall take prasad afterwards. You go into the house. Haridas said, I am a lowly sinner. Afterwards I shall take a handful of food outside. So with the 2 Prabhus, the Acharya went within the house. Seeing the prasada, the heart of Prabhu was delighted. He who feasts Krishna with such food, in every birth I hold his feet upon my head. Prabhu thought that the 3 meals were offerings to Krishna. He did not suspect what was in the mind of the Acharya. Prabhu said, let the 3 of us sit here and eat. The Acharya said, I shall serve you. Where shall we sit? Bring 2 more leaves, and on them put a tiny bit of food. The Acharya said, sit on the peedies, both of you. And so saying, he took them both by the hands and sat them down. Prabhu said, a sannyasi should not eat food like this. If I eat this, how can I restrain my senses? The Acharya said, oh, leave this pretense. I know all about the artifice of your sannyasa. Eat and stop dissembling. And Prabhu said, I cannot eat so much food. The Acharya said, eat without pretense. If you cannot eat it, leave the rest on the leaf. Prabhu said, I cannot eat so much food, and it is not the dharma of a sannyasi to leave anything. The Acharya said, at Nilachala you eat 4 times a day, and at each meal you eat hundreds of times this much. A pile of food for 3 people is for you a mouthful. In relation to that, this food is not 5 mouthfuls. It is my good fortune that you have come to my house. Leave aside your pretense, Prabhu, and eat. So saying, he poured water on the hands of the 2 Goswamis, and smiling, the 2 began to eat. Nityananda said, we have been fasting for 3 days. Today we hoped to break the fast, but today too we fast. At the invitation of the Acharya, we will not half fill ourselves with this mouthful of food. The Acharya said, you are a mendicant, sannyasin, sometimes eating roots and fruits, sometimes fasting. That handful of food which you get at the house of a poor Brahmana, be satisfied with that. Forget your greed. Nityananda replied, when you invite us, you should give us as much as we want. Hearing the words of Nityananda, Advaita Thakur said to him fondly, "You are a fallen Avaduta, filling your belly. You have taken sannyas to punish Brahmanas. You can eat a dasha bisha of rice. Where can I, a poor Brahmana, get so much? So start eating that handful of food which you have gotten. Don't act like a madman, and don't leave anything half-eaten." Like this, laughing and having fun, they ate. Prabhu ate only half of each thing and left the rest. The Acharya then filled up the container with that same curry again, and in this way, again and again, he distributed food. And as he filled the curry dishes, he asked Prabhu to eat more. And Prabhu said, "How much more shall I eat?" The Acharya said, "What I have given you, leave nothing of it. Of what I am giving you now, eat half of it." And with great care and humility he fed Prabhu, and Prabhu fulfilled the desire of the Acharya. Nityananda said, "My belly is not full, take it away. I have eaten nothing of your food." So saying, he took a mouthful of rice in his hand and threw it down in front of him as if angry. 2 or 3 pieces of rice struck the body of the Acharya, and with rice spattered body the Acharya danced in great pleasure. "The partly eaten food of an Avaduta hath struck my body, and this trick has made me most purified. I gave an invitation to you, and you have reaped the fruits of it. I have reaped the fruits of it. Have neither caste nor you have neither caste nor family. You are naturally mad. To make me your equal, you have thrown your leftover food on me, not caring that I am a Brahmana." Nityananda said, "This is the prasada of Krishna. By calling it leftover food, you commit a great offense. If you were to feed 100 sannyasins, you could not atone for this." The Acharya said, "I shall never again invite sannyasins. A sannyasin has destroyed all my dharma based on smriti." So saying, he gave the 2 water to rinse their mouths, and he had them lie down on the finest beds. And he gave them cloves and cardamom seeds of greatest sweetness of smell and taste, and they sweetened their mouths with tulsi sprouts. He anointed their bodies with sweet-smelling sandal, and he brought and put over their hearts garlands of scented flowers. The Acharya wanted to massage their feet, but hesitant, Prabhu said, "You have made me dance a great deal. Now no more. Now eat with Mukunda and Haridas." Then the Acharya took these 2 with him, and they ate as much as they wanted to. I suppose I should give the floor to somebody else now. Does anyone know where we're at? Hearing of the coming of Prabhu?
I mean, you could do a bit more.
All right. Oh, go on then, because there's a Shripadi.
What chapter is it, sorry?
Chapter 3 of Madhya Lila.
Ah, okay.
I'm beginning with verse 105. If you hear banging now and then, it's because I'm defrosting my fridge.
Okay,
Oh.
Hearing of the coming of Prabhu, the people of Shantipura came to see his feet, saying, "Hari, Hari." The people rejoiced greatly and were struck with astonishment when they saw the beauty of Prabhu. The brilliance of his golden body outshone that of the sun, and on it his dawn-coloured clothing glistened. The people came and went in happiness, and there was no end to them. In the crowd of people, the day came to its close. In the evening, the Acharya began the Sankirtana. The Acharya danced, and Prabhu watched. Nityananda Goswami wandered dancing, holding the Acharya, and behind them Haridas danced in great joy. What shall I say, O Saki? There is no end to my joy today. After a long time, Madhava is in my house. So I find that refrain. Yeah. Ki kohobore saki ajuka ananda or chiradina madhava mandire mor. Singing this verse, they danced in joy. They roared and shouted and wept, and florets of gooseflesh appeared, and they trembled and sweated, whirling around. Sometimes he held the feet of Prabhu, and holding his feet, he spoke to him. For many days you have evaded me, wandering around. I have found you in my house, and now I shall imprison you here. So saying, the Acharya danced in joy, and for a prahara of the night, the Acharya made Sankirtana. Restless with prema, Prabhu did not have the companionship of Krishna. His viraha grew in a wave of the flames of prema. In anguish, Prabhu fell to the ground. Seeing the Goswami, the Acharya held up the dance. Mukunda knew well the heart of Prabhu, and he began to sing a verse of appropriate bhava. The Acharya raised up Prabhu to make him dance, and hearing the verse, Prabhu could not control his limbs. Tears, trembling, thrill of gooseflesh, sweat and choking voice, one moment rising up, the next falling, now wailing aloud. That is Ha ha prana priye saki ki na hoi lo mori Kanu prema vishaye mor tanu mano chori. Alas, O Saki, most beloved of my heart, what has happened to me? In the poison of the prema of Kanu, my heart and body burn. Day and night my heart is burning, and I find no rest. When I go to find Kanu, he rises up and flies away. Mukunda sang this lyric in a sweet voice, and when he heard it, the heart of Prabhu was torn within. Remorse, dejection, and joy, restlessness and pride, humility, this army of bhavas warred within Prabhu. Prabhu was staggering under the blows of these bhavas, and he fell to the earth, no breath in his body. All the bhaktas saw this and were dumbfounded. Suddenly, Prabhu rose up, roaring, crying, Bol, Bol! He danced, absorbed in joy, and the power of that wave of bhava could not be understood. Nityananda held Prabhu and danced with him, and the Acharya and Haridas came dancing after. In this way, Prabhu, in great passion, danced for a full watch, sometimes in joy, sometimes in dejection, in the waves of bhava. Having just eaten after 3 days' fast, Prabhu became weak from his wild dancing. But being absorbed in prema, he knew no fatigue. Nityananda continued to hold Mahaprabhu. Then Acharya Goswami stopped the kirtana, and with great care and anxiety made Prabhu lie down. In this way, for 10 days, they enjoyed kirtana and in like manner served Prabhu. Okay, I expect someone is ready now to continue in the morning.
Can I?
I can. I hope it's not going to be put off because I'll be reading and looking at the screen at the same time. Do you
Don't
know what I
worry,
mean? Yeah?
don't worry. I think you can finish that chapter off anyway, at least,
Okay.
from verse 134 in the morning.
Yes, I found it here.
Excellent.
Okay, here we go. In the morning, hang on, let me zoom in, sorry. In the morning, Acharyatna put Sachimata in a litter and brought her with the bhaktas. The people of Madhya city Women and boys and old men, all the people came, and the crowd increased. Having finished their morning ablutions, they made Nam Sankirtan and came to the house of Advaita, bringing Charitamrta. Prabhu fell before Sachi, bowing low to the earth, and Sachi raised him up and took him in her arms and began to weep. The two were overwhelmed at the sight of one another. Sachi became unnerved when she saw no hair upon his head. Caressing his body, kissing his face, she gazed at him. She could not see. Tears filled her eyes. Weeping, Sachi said, "O my son, Nimai, do not do this heartless thing like Visvarup. He became a sannyasin and never showed himself again. If you do such a thing, I shall die." The weeping Prabhu said, "Here, my mother, this body is yours. Nothing of it is mine. It was born from you, and you reared it. I could not repay this debt in a crore of births. I have taken sannyas, wisely or not, but I shall never become indifferent toward you. I shall stay where you tell me to. Give me your command, and I shall follow it." So saying, he made obeisance again and again. Then the Acharya took his mother into the inner chambers, and Prabhu quickly went to meet the bhaktas.
Could you just move the camera a little bit down so we can see the bottom of your mouth?
All right, yeah, sorry, I can't see that. Yeah,
Yeah, that's good. That's it. Perfect. And that perfect. Thank you.
yeah,
Sorry.
I can't. All right, thank you. Prabhu met all the bhaktas, one by one. He saw the faces of all of them and embraced each deeply. The bhaktas were dismayed, seeing no hair upon his head, but still their hearts were gladdened at his beauty. Shrivas, Ramai, Vidyanidhi, Katadara, Gangadas, Vakreshvara, Murari, Suklambara, Buddhimanta Khan, Nandana, Sridhar, Vijaya, Vasudev, Damodar, Mukunda, and Sanjay. I should have to take the names of all the dwellers at Navadvip. Smiling and with a gracious look, Prabhu met them all, and they all danced in joy, saying, "Hari, Hari." And the house of Advaita became Sri Vaikuntapuri. So many people came to see Prabhu, from many villages and from Navadvip. Places to stay were given to all, and food to eat, and water. For many days, Acharya Goswami provided all this without ceasing. The stores of Acharya Goswami were undiminished and unchanged, for as many goods as he expended, so many he gained. From that day, Sachi cooked, and Prabhu ate with his bhaktas. During the day, the Acharya was overcome with love for Prabhu, and during the night, the people watched the dancing and the kirtan. While at kirtan, all the bhavas rose up in Prabhu, stupefied, trembling, with gooseflesh and tears, with choking voice, or raving. From time to time, he stumbled and fell to the ground. And when she saw this, Sachimata wailed and spoke. "The body of Nimai has become dust, so I think." So she cried, and went to Vishnu to ask a boon. "From childhood I have served you. Now give me this reward, O Narayan. When Nimai falls upon the ground, may his body feel no pain." Thus was Sachi Devi sunk in Vatsalya, and confused with bhavas of joy and fear, and humility. Shrivas and the rest of the Brahmana Bhaktas of Prabhu all thought to feed him. Hearing of it, Sachi entreated them all, "How much longer shall I see Nimai? He will meet with all of you again from time to time. I, unfortunate woman, have only this one sight of him. As long as Nimai stays in the house of the Acharya, let me feed him. I beg you all this favor." Hearing this, the Bhaktas made obeisance to her and said, "That wish is the wish of the mother, is agreed to by all." Seeing the anxiety of his mother, Prabhu's heart also was anxious. Having gathered all the Bhaktas together, he spoke these words to them: "Without taking your leave, I was going to Vrindavan. I could not go, for impediments presented themselves. Even though I took sannyas, suddenly I cannot be indifferent to all of you. I shall not abandon all of you as long as I live, nor can I abandon my mother. Yet it is not the dharma of a sannyasin, after taking sannyas, to remain with his relatives in the place of his birth. That no one reproach or blame me. Tell me the means by which I can follow both dharmas." Hearing these gentle words of Prabhu, the Acharya and the rest went to the side of Sachi. They told her of the Prabhu's request, and hearing it, Sachi, the mother of the world, began to speak. "If he stays here, then I will be happy. But if the people reproach him, then I shall be sad. It seems to me that a good way would be for him to live at Nilachala. Thus both duties will be fulfilled. There will be 2 residences, at Nilachala and at Navadvip, and from the people coming and going, I shall get news constantly. You all can come and go, and sometimes he will come to bathe in the Ganga. I do not count my own pleasure or pain. What is happiness to him, I consider my own happiness." Hearing this, the Bhaktas praised her. "Your words, O mother, are like the injunctions of the Vedas." The Bhaktas came before Prabhu and told him, and hearing it, the heart of Prabhu was overjoyed. He summoned all the Bhaktas, as many as lived in Navadvip, and said, "All of you are my dearest friends. I beg this of you, grant it to me. Go to your homes and always make Sankirtan. Do the worship of Krishna. Tell the stories of Krishna. Take the name of Krishna. Let me take leave to go to Nilachala. Sometimes I shall come and see you." So he said to them all, and smiled a little, and bade them farewell. Having bidden them all farewell, Prabhu thought to go, but Haridas came and said these pitiful words: "You will go to Nilachala. What am I to do? I cannot go to Nilachala. I am wretched, and I shall never gain the sight of you. How shall I hold on to this miserable life?" Prabhu said, "Control your humility. My heart is distressed by your misery. I shall pray for you to Jagannath, and I shall take you to Sri Purushottama." Then the Acharya said to him, pleading, "Be kind to us, and stay 2 or 3 more days." Prabhu did not scorn the speech of the Acharya, and he stayed at the house of Advaita and did not go. The Acharya, Sachi, the Bhaktas, and all were overjoyed. And every day the Acharya had a great festival. In the day there was the rasa of the story of Krishna. with the bhaktas, and in the night, great festivals with delight in Sankirtan. And Sachi cooked for him in delight, and Prabhu ate happily with the bhaktas. The faith, the bhakti, the house, the wealth and fortune of the Acharya all were fulfilled by the worship of Prabhu. Seeing the face of her son, the joy of Sachi grew. She fed him, and her own happiness was full. In the day the bhaktas met in the house of Advaita, and in delight they spent many days. On another day, Prabhu said to the bhaktas, "All go to your homes, and going there you all make Krishna Sankirtan. You will meet me again. Sometimes you will come to Niladri, and sometimes I shall come to bathe in the Ganga." Nityananda Goswami and Pandit Jagadananda and Damodar Pandit and Mukunda Datta, these four the Acharya sent with Prabhu, and consoling his mother he bowed to her feet. Then, having circumambulated her, he left, and in the house of the Acharya a wailing arose. Prabhu did not regard it, and went quickly, and weeping, the Acharya followed behind him. Having gone for some distance, Prabhu pressed his palms together, and consoling the Acharya, he spoke a few sweet words. "Solace and console my mother and the devotees. Do not be overcome. If you are, how can they bear to live?" So saying, Prabhu embraced him. Then, breaking away, he continued his journey, according to his desire. Along the bank of the Ganga, Prabhu with his 4 companions went to Niladri by way of Chhatrabhoga. In the Chaitanya Mangala is the journey to Niladri, and Vrindavan Das has described and detailed it. Oops. Let me flip the page. And Vrindavan Das has described it and detailed it there. Those who hear the activities of Prabhu in the house of Advaita quickly gain the wealth of Krishna Prem. Krishna Das, whose hope and faith at the feet of Rupa and Raghunath, tells of the nectar of the acts of Chaitanya, the Chaitanya Charitamrta. That's the end of chapter 3. I think someone else can go now. Thank you.
Lovely. We're on our way.
Dina looks like he's ready
Yeah, Dina is ready.
and rearing. Thanks, Karnai. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Stadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha. So the invocatory verse starts with Yasmai Datum Chorayan Kira Bandam Gopinata Kira Chorabidho Bhut Sri Gopala Pradur Asid Basa San Yat Premna Tam Madhavendram Natosmi. I bow to that Madhavendra Puri, for whom Gopinath stole the Kir, being called a Kir stealer, and through whose devotion Sri Gopal became manifest, being submissive. Kir is milk sweet. Glory, glory to Gaurachandra, glory to Nityananda, glory to Advaita Chandra and the hosts of Gaura Bhaktas. The trip to Niladri and the sight of Jagannath, and the meeting of Prabhu with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. All these Leelas of Prabhu, Vrindavan Das has described in the best possible way in detail. By their virtue, the various viharas of Chaitanya are sweet, but in the mouth of Vrindavan Das, they are a stream of nectar. Thus, if I describe these, it would be repetition. Even if I were arrogant enough to describe them, I have no power. That Lila, which has been described in the Chaitanya Mangal, he has outlined in the form of sutras. Let me speak of this Lila, however inadequately, which he had not described. Let me speak of this Lila, however, in the, what's there? That Lila, which he has described in the Chaitanya Mangal, he has outlined in the form of sutras. Let me speak of this Lila, however inadequately, which he had not described in full in those sutras of his. Thus, at his feet I make obeisance. Let there be no offence of mine at his feet. In this way, Mahaprabhu proceeded to Nilachal, eager with his 4 bhaktas in Krishna Kirtan. One day he went to a village to seek alms. By himself, he begged and brought a great deal of rice. On the way were many toll collectors who hindered him not at all. Giving mercy to them all, he came to Ramuna. And Ramuna is Gopinath, of greatest charm, and Prabhu went there in devotion to have darshan. While Chaitanya was bowing down his lotus feet, the flowers from his head fell onto the head of Prabhu. Receiving the flowers, the heart of Mahaprabhu was overjoyed, and with the bhaktas he sang and danced a great deal. Seeing the power of Prabhu and his qualities of beauty and prema, then servants of Gopinath were all struck with astonishment. In various ways in love they served Prabhu, and Prabhu spent the night there. Prabhu remained there, desirous of kheer, of the Mahaprasad. Formerly, Ishvara Puri had spoken to him of this. His name was famous as the Kheer Gopinath. Prabhu explained this to the bhaktas. Formerly, Madhavendra Puri had stolen some kheer, and thus his name was Kheer Hari. Once, Madhava Puri had come to Vrindavan, and while wandering went to Govardhan mountain. Absorbed in prema, he knew neither day or night. Now he fell, now he rose up, and knew not where he was. Circumambulating the hill, he came to Govinda Kund.
Jai-ho.
He bathed and was sitting under a tree. It was evening. A cowherd boy with a pot of milk came and placed it before him and said, smiling, Puri, drink this milk. Why do you not beg and eat? Upon what do you meditate? Puri was delighted with the beauty of the boy, and at the sweetness of his words, his hunger and thirst disappeared. Puri said, who are you? Where do you live? How do you know that I am fasting? The boy said, I am a cowherd, and I live in the village, and in my village no one remains hungry. Some, by begging, have rice to eat. Some drink milk, and to those who do not ask, I give food. The women saw you when you came to draw water, and all the women gave me milk and sent me to you. I want to milk the cows, so I will go quickly. I shall come again and take the pot. So saying, the boy went away and was not seen again. And Madhava Puri was astonished in his mind. He drank the milk and washed the pot and put it aside. He watched the path, but the boy did not come again. Puri sat, taking the name, and did not sleep. At the end of the night he felt sleepy, and the outside world was far away. He saw in a dream that the boy had come before him, and holding him by the hand, had taken him into a grove. Showing him the grove, he said, I stay in this grove, and I suffer much from cold, rain, and wind, and fire. Call the people of the village, and take me from this grove, and put me well placed upon the hill. Build a temple there and put me in it. Wash my body with much cool water. I have been watching the path for you for many days, thinking, when will Madhava come here and serve me? You have served me, and I am conquered by your praying. I shall show myself and pervade the whole world. My name is Gopal, the upholder of Govardhan. I have been established by Bajra, and am the lord of this place. Taking me from the top of the hill, my servant hid me in the grove, fled in fear of the Malechas. From that time I have remained in this forest place. It is good that you have come to take me out so carefully. So saying, the boy disappeared, and awakening, Madhavapuri reflected on it. I have seen Krishna, but I did not recognize him. So saying, he fell to the earth, overcome with pain. Having wept for a time, he calmed himself and decided to honor his instruction. Having performed his morning ablutions, Puri came to the center of the town, and having gathered all the people together, he began to say to them, the Ishwara of your village is Govardhanadhari. He is within the grove. Come, let us bring him out. The grove is very dense and thick. We cannot penetrate it. Bring axes and spades and make an opening. Hearing this, the people went with him happily, cutting into the grove, and they made a path and entered. They saw the Thakur covered with grass and earth, and seeing it, all the people were struck with astonishment. Having uncovered him, they informed Puri of it. But the image was very heavy, and no one could move it. The most powerful men gathered there, and with Puri, they took the image up upon the hill. They placed the image on a throne of stone, and they put a big stone behind it, the image to support it. The Brahmanas of the village all brought new water pots. Having strained it, they brought water from the Govinda Kund. They presented 100 new pots of water, and many instruments and drums sounded, and the women sang. Some sang, some danced, and there was a great festival. Much milk and curd and ghee was brought from the village, and articles for the food offerings came. Much sandesh and the rest, and many presents, so many that I cannot describe them all. Tulsi flowers and cloth, many things came, and Madhavendra Puri himself performed the ceremony of the installation of the image. Bathing the image, all the impurities washed away, and he put much oil on the sacred body until it glistened. And he bathed him with the 5 articles from the cow and the 5 sweets, and then he gave him a great bath with the 100 pots of water. And again he put on oil, and the body glistened, and he finished the bathing with scented water from a conch shell. Having washed the holy body and dressed it with clothing, sandal, tulsi, and a garland of flowers, he put upon the body. Then he began the offerings of food with incense and lamp, and he brought milk and curd and sandesh sweets of various kinds. He presented sweet-scented water in new jars, and rinsing his mouth, again he presented tumbud. Having offered arti, he said prayers and praises. Bowing before it, he made the dedication of himself. As much husked rice, lentil, and wheat flour as there was in the village, the people brought it, and the hill was covered. The earthen pots, which were in the house of the potter, all were brought in the morning, and the cooking started. 10 brahmanas cooked the food, and they made a big mound of it. And there were 5 who cooked various curries and various sauces. Shak and fruits and roots from the forest made many kinds of curries, and some brahmanas prepared baras and buddies and curries. 5 or 7 prepared rows and rows of uroti, and there were all kinds of other curries drenched with ghee. They put new cloth on the ground, and on it palasa leaves, and on these cooked rice was placed. Beside it, a mountainous row of roti containers of sauces and curries filled the 4 directions. Beside these were curd and milk, buttermilk, and other kinds of milk preparations. And beside these were payas, butter, and cream. In this way, Mountains of food were prepared. Puri Goswami presented them to Gopal. Having filled many pots, they offered sweet-smelling water, and with a hunger of many days, Gopal ate it all. Even though Gopal ate all the rice and curry, at the touch of his hand, it was at once restored. Madhava Goswami perceived this. From him, Gopal hid nothing. Thus, in great zeal, a great feast was prepared in a single day. It was through the power of Gopal, though others did not know. They gave him water to rinse his mouth, and beetle rolls, and the people made arti shouting, Jai! Jai! Then they laid him down, having brought a new bed, and on top of it they brought and spread a new cloth. They screened it off in 4 directions with a hedge of grass, and covered it on top with a screen. Puri Goswami gave an instruction to all the Brahmanas. Feed the women and children and all people of the village. They all sat down and ate in order, feeding the Brahmanas and their wives first. Many people came from other villages to see, and seeing Gopal, they also partook of the prasad. Seeing the power of Puri, the people were astonished, for it was like a manifest mountain of rice in former days. Puri made all the Brahmanas Vaishnavas and appointed them all the service of Gopal. At the end of the day, he raised up the Lord again and fed him food and water. Gopal has appeared, the word was in the country, and the people from the villages came from all around to see him. Each day, in each village, they begged and took mountains of food and were delighted. In the night, after putting the deity to rest, Puri Goswami took some of the food offering. In the morning time again, he began the service, and people came bringing food from the villages. Rice, ghee, milk, curd, as much as there was in the village, the people brought it and placed it before Gopal. The Brahmanas cooked as on the previous day, and Gopal ate mountains of food. The people living in Braj loved Krishna naturally, so it was natural for Gopal to have love for them. All the people came and ate Mahaprasad, and seeing Gopal, the grief and sorrow of all were dispelled. All the villages that were around the land of Braj, each on a single day came for a great festival. Hearing the appearance of Gopal, people began to come from other regions, bringing various things. The people of Mathura, who were very wealthy, in great bhakti brought many things as presents. Presents of gold and silver and cloth and scent were unaccountable, and the store grew constantly. A very wealthy Kshatriya had a temple built. One man had a kitchen storehouse built, and another an enclosure. Everyone living in Braj gave a cow, so Gopal received thousands and thousands of cows. From Gauda came 2 aesthetic Brahmanas. Puri Goswami kept them with great care. He made these 2 his pupils and dedicated them to the service. It was a service as of a king, and the joy of Puri grew. Like this, he served for 2 years, and then one day Puri Goswami saw a dream. Gopal said, Puri, my fever does not leave me. Anoint me with the sandal that grows in the Malaya mountains. Then I shall be soothed. Bring me the Malaya-grown sandal from Nilachal and from nowhere else. Go quickly. Seeing this dream, Puri Goswami was overcome with prema. At the order of Prabhu, he went at once to the east. He established people with the strong attachment to service, and having taken leave, he went to the Gauda country. He came to Shantipur to the house of Advaita Acharya. Seeing the prema of Puri, the Acharya's heart was glad. From him, he carefully took a mantra. Having given Diksha to him, Puri went to the south. At Ramuna, he had a darshan of Gopinath. Seeing his beauty, his heart was overcome. Having sung and danced, he sat on the Jagamohan and asked the Brahmanas what kind of food offerings are made. Seeing the beauty of the service, his heart was very glad. The food offering was of the best kind. This he deduced and understood. I shall ask everyone how this food offering is made, and I shall have such preparations for Gopal. He asked the Brahmanas about the matter, and the Brahmanas described to him how to prepare the food. For the food offering in the evening there is kheer, and it is called Amrita Keli, for it is like nectar. We filled 12 earthen vessels with it. It is famous. Its name is famous as kheer, as of Gopinath, and there is no other offering like it in all the earth. At that time, the food offering was prepared for the Thakur, and hearing this, Puri Goswami considered in his mind, if I can manage to get a little of this kheer prasad without begging, I can know its taste. Then I shall offer the kheer to Gopal. At this thought, he was ashamed, and he meditated on Vishnu. Just then, the food offering was removed, and the arti was sounded. Seeing the arti, Puri made obeisance, came outside, saying nothing more to anyone. It was not Puri's inclination to ask things of people. He was indifferent and detached. When he got food without asking, he ate. When he did not, he went hungry. He was satisfied with the nectar of praying, and he had neither hunger nor thirst. But he had a craving for the kheer, and he considered that an offence. Sitting in the empty market of the village, he made kirtan. The pujari put the Thakur to rest. Having performed his duties, the pujari himself went to rest, and in his sleep the Thakur came and said some words to him. Rise up, pujari, and open the door. I have left a piece of kheer there for sannyas. Under a corner of my loincloth, the piece of kheer is hidden. You all did not know it because of my maya. Madhava Puri is the sannyas, sitting in the marketplace. Quickly, take this piece of kheer and give it to him. Seeing this dream, the pujari awoke and reflected on it. Having bathed, he opened the door and the gate. Under the corner of the loincloth, he found the kheer, and he cleansed the place and took the kheer and went outside. Closing the door, he went to the village. Taking the kheer, he went to the marketplace. And to the marketplace, looking for Madhavendra Puri. Whoever is named Madhava Puri, take this kheer for your Gopinath, has stolen the kheer. Take this kheer and eat it in happiness, for there is no one in the three worlds as blessed as you. When he heard this, Puri Goswami made himself known. Giving him the kheer, the pujari bowed. The pujari then told him of the story of the kheer, and when he heard it, Sri Madhavendra Puri was overcome with prema. Seeing his prema, the sevak said, astonished, Krishna is under the control of this man, and that is as it should be. So saying, he made obeisance and left, and with great joy, Puri ate the kheer. He washed the vessel, then broke it into pieces, and he tied and kept the pieces in his outer cloth. Each day he ate a piece of it, and when he ate it, he was overcome with prema, a strange, wonderful thing. Thakur gave kheer to me. The moment they hear of it, people from all over will come in great throngs, and when they have learned where I am. Fearing this, as soon as the night was ended, Sri Puri bowed to Gopinath in his abode, then slipped away. Travelling and travelling, Puri came to Sri Nilachan, and when he saw Jagannath, he was overcome with prema. Under the influence of prema, he fell and got up. He laughed and danced and sang, and at the sight of Jagannath gained great joy. Shripad Madhava Puri has come. The people spread the word abroad, and all the people came in great devotion to see him. It is well known in the world that the nature of fame is that it comes to him who does not desire it. This is the ordination of God. So in fear of fame, Puri fled, but fame goes with the praying of Krishna. Even though he was anxious to flee, he was bound by the getting of the sandalwood for the Thakur. To all the servants of Jagannath and to all the Mahantas, Puri told the story of Gopal. Gopal asked for sandalwood. Hearing this, the bhaktas in great delight began to search for it. Whoever was acquainted with a minister of the court collected sandalwood and camphor, begging it from him. To carry the sandalwood, they gave to Puri one brahmana, one sevak, and together with travelling expenses. To avoid the payment of tolls to the king's officers at the ghats, they gave Puri Goswami a royal letter writing by the king. So Madhavendra Puri went, taking the sandalwood, and after some days he reached Ramuna. He made repeated obeisances to the feet of Gopinath, and under the control of Prem, he made kirtan incessantly. When he saw Puri, the sevaks paid him all respects, and they fed him with prasad of kheer. That night he slept in the place of the god, and at the end of the night Puri saw a dream. Gopal came and said to him, "Hero Madhava, I have received all the camphor and sandalwood. Rub all this sandalwood with camphor every day on the body of Gopinath. Gopinath has the same body as I, and if you anoint his body and sandal with sandal, mine will be soothed. Having no doubt or hesitation, nor think on it, believe and give sandal according to my words." Saying so, Gopal left, and the Goswami awoke. He summoned the sevaks of Gopinath. The instruction of Prabhu was, with this camphor and sandalwood every day anoint the body of Gopinath. When you give sandal to him, Gopal will be cooled. Ishwara is self-dependent, and his command is powerful. In the hot season, Gopinath will wear sandalwood. Hearing this, the hearts of the sevak were joyful. Puri said, "These two will prepare the sandal. 2 of us will have the reward of putting it on his body." In this way, every day they prepared the sandal, and the sevaks applied it with great joy. Each day they put on the sandal until there was no end of it, and Puri remained there until that time. At the end of the hot season, again he went to Nilachal and stayed at Nilachal for 4 months in great joy. Thus, Chaitanya's holy mouth told the nectar of the actions of Madhava Puri to the bhaktas, and having told them, Prabhu was overjoyed. Prabhu said, "Nityananda, reflect on this. There is none as blessed in the world as Puri." Under the pretext of giving him milk, Krishna appeared to him, and he came 3 times in a dream and gave him instructions. It was because of the power of his prem that he appeared, and accepting service he saved the world. It was for him that Gopinath stole the kheer and caused the sandal and camphor to be put on his body. It was difficult to bring camphor and sandal through the country of the Malechas. Puri will have trouble, and Gopal knew this. But Prabhu is full of mercy and loving consideration towards his bhaktas. So he put on the sandal and fulfilled the labor of his bhakta. Consider the glory of the prem of Puri. This unworldly prem strikes the mind with wonder. He was of the utmost indifference to the world, silent and everywhere free from self-interest. In fear of vulgar talk, he was without any companion. This man received the nectar of the order of Gopal and walked 1,000 kroshas for begging sandal. He remained hungry rather than beg food to eat. That same man went bearing the load of sandal. A mound of sandal and 20 tolas of camphor. I will put this on Gopal. This was his very great joy. And when the collector of Utkal stopped him, seeing the sandal, he showed the king's pass and escaped him. The road through the Malecha country is long and the tax is high, but he did not consider, how shall I take the sandal? and with him he had not a thing to give the toll collectors at the ghats. Still, he had great determination to take the sandal. And this is the form and nature of such deep praying, that he did not consider his own difficulties or sorrows. To show the people this profound praying of his, Gopal gave him the instruction to bring sandalwood. With much difficulty he brought the sandal to Ramuna, and joy grew in his heart, and he did not count his sorrow. It was to examine him that Gopal gave him the order, and having examined him, at the end he was merciful. This bhakti and the behavior of Krishna and the beloved of the bhaktas, none of us have the power to understand. Having said this, Chaitanya recited a shloka composed by him. By the moon of the shloka, he illuminated the world as the scent of the best Malaya-grown sandal increases as the wood is rubbed. So it is with the exposition of the shloka as the Kushtoba gem among jewels. So is the shloka among the poetry of rasa. This was a shloka spoken by Radha Thakurani. By her grace, it was expressed in the voice of Madhavendra. Gaurachandra tasted it, and there was no fourth person able to taste it. At the end of his life, he recited this shloka again and again. With the shloka, Puri attained release. Aha. Hey Dina, hey Dayadra, hey Nata, hey Matora Nata, Kavalokya she. Hridayang tvam lokataram, Brahmjati dayatim, kinkaromyaham. O Lord, moist with pity for the wretched, Lord of Mathura, when will I see you? For want of the sight of you, my heart is restless and anxious. O merciful one, what shall I do? While reciting the shloka, Prabhu became unconscious, overcome with praying. He fell to the earth. Slowly and gently, Nityananda took him up in his arms. Then Gaurachandra rose, weeping. Mad with praying, he got up and ran this way and that, shouting, laughing, weeping, dancing and singing, Ayidina, Ayidina. He said again and again, his voice caught in his throat, and streams of tears flowed from his eyes. Trembling, sweat, tears, and goose flesh, or goosebumps, paralysis, pallor, remorse and dejections, apathy, arrogance, happiness, humility. All the doors of praying were opened by this shlok, and the sevaks of Gopinath watched this praying dance of Prabhu. Seeing the crowd of people, Prabhu became aware. The offering to the Thakur was removed and the arti was sounded. Having put the Thakur to rest, the pujari came outside and brought and placed before Prabhu the prasad, a heap of kheer. Seeing the kheer, the joy of Mahaprabhu increased. He took 5 pots of it to feed the bhaktas. 7 pots of kheer he took and returned to the priest, and the 5 people divided and ate 5 kheers. Even though he had already eaten in the form of Gopinath, he ate the prasad to teach his bhaktas. They passed that night in Nam Sankirtan, and in the morning they left, having seen the auspicious arti. So the qualities of Gopal and Gopinath and Puri Goswami Prabhu tasted in his holy mouth, as did the bhaktas. I have enumerated the glories of both Prabhu's love and affection towards his bhaktas, and the limits of the prema of the bhaktas. He who hears with faith gains the wealth of prema at the feet of Sri Krishna. Krishna Das, whose hope and faith lie at the feet of Prabhu, of Rupa and Raghunath, tells of the nectar of the acts of Chaitanya, the Chaitanya Charitamrta. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Hey,
Wow.
Dina, hey, Dina, hey, Dina.
Hey, Dina.
Mathura Nata.
Should we go straight on?
Yeah. Is it you? Who's carrying? Is it you or Mark or who? What's happening?
That's chapter 5, yeah?
Okay, off you go.
I don't know. Okay, chapter 5. Padbhyam chalanya pratima swarupo brahmanya devo hi sataha gamyam desham yayo viprakrite bhuteham tam shigopalamaham natosmi. I bow to Shakshi Gopala, he, that lord of Brahmanas, who is characterized by wonderful Lila, who because of the miracles wrought by the Brahmana has come on foot to a place that takes a journey of 100 days, being the true form of the image. Glory, glory to Sri Chaitanya, glory to Nityananda, glory to Advaita Chandra, glory to the hosts of Gauda Bhaktas. While on the way, they came to Yajapura Grama, and seeing Varaha Thakur, they bowed in respect. Dancing and singing, they offered many praises in prema. They remained at Yajapura that night and went on their way. Coming to Kataka, they saw Shakshi Gopal, and when they saw the beauty of Gopal, they were overjoyed. Being possessed by prema, they danced and sang there for a while, and overcome, they praised Gopala. They remained there that night with the Bhaktas, and with great joy they listened to the former stories of Gopal. When Nityananda Goswami was wandering on pilgrimage, he had come to Kataka to see Shakshi Gopal. He heard from the mouths of the people the story of Shakshi Gopal, and he told that story before Prabhu with great delight. Once there were 2 Brahmanas of Vidyanagar, and both of them had started on a pilgrimage. They had gone to Gaya, Varanasi, Prayaga, and so on, and both in great joy had come to Mathura. On the Vanayatra, they saw the forests, and then they saw Govardhan, and when they had seen the 12 forests, they finally came to Brindavana. And in Brindavana, at the Govindasthana, there was a great temple, and at that temple great service of Gopala took place. At the Keshi Tirtha and at Kaliya Hrada they bathed, and after seeing Sri Gopala they rested there a while. The beauty of Gopala stole both their minds, and gaining great happiness they remained there for several days. Of the 2 Brahmanas, one was rather old, and the other Brahmana was young. He served the former. The younger Brahmana always served him, and by his service the Brahmana was well pleased in his heart. The Brahmana said, "You have served me well. You have helped me, and helped me to visit many pilgrimage places. Some do not do such service for their fathers. By your favor I have had no difficulty. It would be ingratitude if I did not do you honor, and thus I shall give you the gift of my daughter." The younger Brahmana said, "Hear me, O honored Brahmana. Why do you speak of the impossible, of that which can never be? You are high in rank, learned, wealthy, and eminent, while I am from a lower family and devoid of wealth and learning. I cannot be the vessel for the receipt of the gift of your daughter. I serve you from love of Krishna. Because of the service of Brahmanas, the love of Krishna grows, and with his pleasure, devotion and prosperity increase." The elder Brahmin said, "Do not be hesitant. I shall give my daughter to you. I have decided upon it." The younger Brahmin said, "You have a wife and sons, all these, and you have many kinsmen and many friends. Without the consent of all of these, you cannot give your daughter. Bhishmaka, the father of Rukmini, is the proof of this. It was the wish of Bhishmaka to present his daughter to Krishna. Because of the opposition of his son, he was unable to do so. The elder Brahmin replied, "My daughter is my own wealth. Who can forbid me to give my own wealth? I shall give my daughter to you, rebuking all of them. Do not doubt. Give me your agreement." The younger Brahmana said, "If you have decided to give your daughter, speak that as an oath before Gopala." So the Brahmana began to speak before Gopala. "You know that I have given my daughter to this man." The younger Brahmana said, "Lord, you are my witness. I shall cause you to speak as witness if I see that he does otherwise." So saying, the two went on to their country, and the younger Brahmana served him in recognition of him as Guru. When they got to their country, they each went to their own homes, and after a few days the elder Brahmana thought in his heart, "In the place of pilgrimage I gave my word to the Brahmana. How can it be brought to pass? I shall know certainly from my friends and kinsmen and sons and wife." So one day all his own people were together in one place, and before the assembly he told the whole tale. And when they heard it, his kinsmen all cried out in distress, "Never again bring such words to your mouth. If you give your daughter to someone lower, the family honor will be destroyed. When they hear of it, everyone will laugh at us." The Brahmana said, "I gave my word at a holy place. How can I go against it? What will be, will be. I shall give my daughter to him." The relatives all said, "We shall abandon you." And his wife and son said, "We shall take poison and die." The Brahmana said, "He will summon a witness and cause justice to be done. He will win and take my daughter, and my dharma will become vain." His son said, "The witness is an image, and that in a far country. Who will be your witness? Why do you worry? You will not deny it and thereby say a false word. You will say to everyone, 'I don't remember it at all.' If you say, 'I know nothing of it,' then by argument I shall defeat the Brahmana." Hearing these things, the Brahmana reflected on them and in his mind, and began to meditate single-mindedly upon the feet of Gopala. "Protect my dharma and do not allow my people to die. Protect me in both these ways, O Gopala." Thus he sought shelter. The Brahmana began to ponder the matter, turning it over in his mind. And on another day the younger Brahmana came to his house. When he came, he made obeisance in the highest devotion, and he humbly said with his palms together pressed, "You have promised to give your daughter to me, and now you say nothing. What is your decision?" Hearing this, the Brahmana remained silent, and his son came out with a club in his hand to strike him. "You wretch! You want to marry my sister? You are like a dwarf who wanted to catch the moon." Seeing the club, the Brahmin fled, and on another day he called the people of the village together. The people summoned the elder Brahmana, and then the younger Brahmana began to speak. "He made a promise to give his daughter to me, and now he does not give her. What is your advice?" Then they all began to query the Brahmin, "Why do you not give your daughter if you have given your word?" The Brahmana said, "Listen, people, to my submission. I have no memory at all of when I said that." Hearing this, his son, knowing the stratagem of the words, arrogantly stood in front of the assembly and said, "My father had much wealth with him on the pilgrimage, and when he saw the wealth, this villain had a mind to take it. There were no other companions, just this one alone, feeding my father Dutura. He made him insane. He took all the wealth and said that thieves had taken it, and now he raises the story that he wanted to give his daughter to him. All you people, make your decision. Is it proper to give my father's daughter to this man?" When they heard this, the people were doubtful in their minds. For it is possible that people in lust for wealth abandon their fear of dharma. Then the younger Brahmana said, "Hear, noble people, to win the argument he speaks untrue words. This Brahmana, when he was pleased by my service to him, himself said, 'I shall give my daughter to you.' Then I protested, 'Listen, best of Brahmins, I am not a proper bridegroom for your daughter. You are a Pandita and a wealthy man, and come from a family of high station, while I am poor and ignorant and humble and without high family.' But this Brahmin said to me over and again, 'I have given my daughter to you, accept her.' Then I said, 'Hear me, O high-minded Brahmana. Your wife and sons and kinsmen will not agree. You will not be able to give your daughter, and your word will become untrue.' But again the Brahmana said deliberately, 'I have given my daughter to you. Do not be of two minds about it. I shall give you my own daughter. Who can forbid it?' Then I said, 'If you are firm in your mind about it, then take an oath before Gopala.' Then he said this before Gopala, 'You know that I have given my daughter to this Brahmana.' Then I made Gopala a witness, and I said humbly at his feet, 'If this Brahmin does not give me his daughter, I shall call on you as witness. Be prepared.' So to these words of his I have a witness, noble people, whose words are true and honored in the three worlds." Then the elder Brahmana said, "These are true words. If Gopala shows himself as witness, and himself comes to this place, then I shall give him my daughter. Know this for certain." Then his son said, "This is a good solution." The elder Brahmana thought, "Krishna is full of great mercy. Certainly he will bear out my contention." His son thought, "An image will not come to bear witness." In such knowledge the two consented. The young Brahmana said, "Draw up an agreement that all these words might not go again for naught." Then all the people drew up an agreement, and with the consent of both parties, a mediator kept it. Then the younger Brahmin said, "Listen, all of you, this Brahmana is truthful and devoted to Dharma. It is never in his mind to abandon his own word. For fear of the demise of his own people, he speaks ambiguously. For the sake of his merit, I shall summon Krishna as a witness. In this way, I shall protect the promise of this Brahmana." Having heard this, all the people smiled. Some said, "Ishvara is full of mercy. He might come." Then the younger Brahmana went to Vrindavan, and bowing to the ground, he related the whole tale. "Brahmanya Deva, you are most full of mercy. Being kind, preserve the dharma of two Brahmanas. That I gained the Brahmana's daughter, this joy was not in my mind, but that the promise of the Brahmana be broken, this is very bad. Knowing these things, bear witness, O full of mercy. He who knows and does not bear witness commits a sin." Krishna said, "O Brahmana, go to your own house. Bring everyone together and meditate on me. I shall appear then and bear witness. In the form of an image, I shall not be able to go there." The Brahmana said, "If you appear as a four-armed murti, then no one will have confidence in your words. If you go in this form, with beautiful countenance, and if you give witness, then all the people will honor it." Krishna said, "No one has ever heard of an image moving." The Brahmana said, "As an image, how do you speak words? You are not an image, you are the manifest Brajendra Nandana. Will you do this thing which is not done for the Brahmana?" Laughing, Gopala said, "Listen, O Brahmana, I shall follow after you. Do not turn around to look at me. If you look at me, I shall remain in that place where you looked. You will only hear the sound of my ankle bells, and from that sound you will know that I am moving. You will cook 1 seer of rice and offer it, and when I have eaten that, I shall go with you. The next day, having begged leave, the Brahmana departed, and Gopala followed after him. Hearing the sound of the ankle bells, his heart was overjoyed. Having cooked the best rice, he prepared him a feast. Moving in this way, the Brahmana came to his own country, and nearing his village, he reflected in his mind, "Now I have come to my village, and I shall go to my house. I shall go and say to the people that the witness has come. If they do not see the witness, there will be no belief in their hearts. If he remains here, then there will be no fear." Reflecting thus, the Brahmana turned around and looked, and smiling, Gopala Deva was there. He said to the Brahmana, "Go to your own house. I shall remain here. I shall go no further." Then the Brahmana went and spoke in the town, and when they heard it, all the people were astonished. They all came to see the witness, and when they saw Gopala, they bowed to the ground. Seeing the beauty of Gopala, the people were overjoyed, and hearing that the image had walked all the way, they were astonished. Then the elder Brahmana was delighted, and falling before Gopala, he prostrated himself. Gopala gave his witness before all the people, and the elder Brahmana gave his daughter to the younger. Then Ishvara said to those 2 Brahmanas, "Both of you, from birth to birth, have been my followers. I have been pleased by the constancy of both. Both may ask a boon." And the 2 Brahmanas asked a boon with joy in their hearts. "If you would grant us a boon, then stay in this place. Then all the people will know of your mercy to your servants." So Gopala remained, and both served him, and all the people of the country came to see. And the king of that country came, hearing of the wonderful thing, and he gained the highest pleasure when he saw Gopal. The king built a temple there and caused the service to be instituted. It was called Shakshi Gopal, and it became famous. In this way, Shakshi Gopala of Vidyanagara, accepting service, remained there a long time. The Raja of Utkala, Purushottama Deva by name, made war on the throne, on the country, and conquered it. And having conquered that Raja, he took his throne. It was called Manikya Singhasana because of its many gems. That Purushottama Deva was a devotee and an excellent man. He begged at the feet of Gopala, "Come to my kingdom." Controlled by his devotion, Gopala gave permission to him. So taking Gopala, he went to Kataka. He brought and gave the jeweled lion throne to Jagannatha, and he established the service of Gopala at Kataka. His queen came for darshana of Gopala, and in devotion presented many ornaments to him. In her nose was a pearl of very great price. She wanted to give that to him. She reflected in her mind, "If there were an opening in the nose of Thakur, then I, his servant, would give him the pearl to wear in his nose." Thus reflecting, and having made obeisance, she went to her own house. And toward the end of the night, Gopala said to her in a dream, "When I was a boy, my mother pierced my nose, and carefully she put a pearl into it. That hole is even now in my nose. Put that pearl in it, which you wanted to give me." Then the queen told the Raja of her dream, and with the Raja taking the pearl, she went to the temple. She ornamented him with the pearl, seeing the perforation in his nose, and in great joy they had a great festival. And from that time Gopala has been established at Kataka, and for these reasons the name Shakshi Gopala has become famous. Hearing this story of Shakshi Gopala from the mouth of Nityananda Goswami, Prabhu with his bhaktas was most pleased. When Prabhu was standing before Gopala, the bhaktas saw that it was as if the two were one murti. They were both of one color and both large in body. Both were dressed in red and both were grave in nature. Both were full of great radiance and lotus eyes. The hearts of both were absorbed in passion and both had faces like the moon. Seeing the two, Nityananda Prabhu was overjoyed, and summoning the bhaktas, he laughed with them, and in this way they passed the night in great glee. In the morning, having seen the auspicious arti, they left. How they went along the way to Bhubaneswara, Vrindavan Dasa has described completely. When they came to Kamalapura, they bathed in the Bargi Nadi, and Prabhu placed his staff into the hand of Nityananda. He went with his bhaktas to see Kapoteshwara, and here Nityananda Prabhu broke the staff. After he broke it into 3 pieces, he threw them into the water. Prabhu came with his bhaktas, having seen Mahesh. Seeing the temple of Jagannath, he was overcome, and bowing down to the ground, he began to dance in prema. And the bhaktas, also overcome, also danced and sang, and they went along the highway with Prabhu in an ecstasy of prema. Laughing and weeping and dancing, Prabhu shouted and roared, and the 3 krosha road became 1,000 yojanas long. Along the way, Prabhu came to Attara Nala, and when he reached there, he came to his senses a little, and he said to Nityananda Prabhu, "Give me my staff." Nityananda said, "The staff was broken into 3 pieces. In an ecstasy of prema you fell, and I caught you. I fell with you on top of the staff. The staff splintered under the weight of 2 people. Where the pieces fell, I have no idea. It is my fault that your staff has been broken, and it is proper that you punish me for it." Hearing this, Prabhu showed a little sadness in his heart, and somewhat angry, he said to the company, "Bringing me to Nilachala, you have all done me a great service. The staff was all the wealth I had, and even that is gone. You all go first to see the Lord, or let me go first, but I will not go with you." Mukunda Datta said, "Prabhu, you go first. We will follow after. We will not go together." Hearing this, Prabhu went quickly ahead. No one could understand the minds of the 2 Prabhus. Why this one broke the staff, why that one caused him to break it, and once he had caused him to break it, why he became angry at the fault. This Lila of the breaking of the staff is very profound. Only he whose devotion is firm at the feet of both understands. Blessed is the greatness of Brahmanya Deva Gopala, which was told by Nityananda and heard by Sri Chaitanya. Hear it, O bhaktas, full of reverence, and swiftly you will gain the feet of Krishna Chaitanya. Krishna Das, whose hope and faith lie at the feet of Rupa and Raghunatha, tells of the nectar of the acts of Chaitanya, the Chaitanya Charitamrta, and thus ends chapter 5.
Wow, that was I haven't read all that for such a long time. It's incredible because you get the 2 deities.
Don't stop recording.
And oh yeah, stop recording. Okay.
Yeah, may as well.
Yeah.